Morning, Joe. What are you up to?
Pete, what are you doing here?
I've just come to see what you're doing. How are you?
Firstly, I'm not too bad, but as you can see, I'm trying to have my breakfast here because I've got a 4-period day today, so I need to get my feed.
You just want a little bit of quiet time, don't you?
Well, I do. That and a flat white, I think.
Well, I've got some bad news for you. You know those Cheerios that you're just about to eat?
Well, yeah, they're my favourite cereal, of course.
Gone up by 20% in price.
What? 20%?
20% in
What, since
price.
the last time I've actually bought this box?
Just gone up this morning. I noticed it in the supermarket.
What would cause an increase like that, do you think?
Doesn't matter, but what are you going to do about it?
Well, I mean, they are my favourite cereal, but I suppose I face the choice of should I keep buying Cheerios or is there anything else I can buy instead?
Oh, well, perhaps this is an option.
Oh, where's that come from? Cornflakes. You know, cornflakes, they're a bit bland, aren't they? I do prefer Cheerios in terms of their flavour and that.
Well, personally, I think they're a pretty good substitute.
Substitute good? What the hell's a substitute good?
They're easily replaceable. They're not identical, but they'll provide the same purpose for you for your breakfast.
Okay, fair enough. So, but if, for example, I start eating cornflakes, is that going to give me the same amount of satisfaction?
I think it will do. And do you know what? I think there might be a little bit of economics in here.
No. Economics and me eating breakfast. Can you just give this a rest, please, Pete? Seriously.
Look, have you ever heard of the term cross-elasticity of demand?
Well, now that you say that, I was asleep last night and I woke up in a bit of a cold sweat because I've got to teach my my AS economics group. And I sort of got up in the middle of the night and I realised, you know, I now remembered what the formula for cross-elasticity of demand was.
Go on then, tell me.
So basically, cross-elasticity of demand, the formula to calculate this is the percentage change in the quantity demanded of good A and how that changes as a result of the percentage change in the price of good B.
Okay, Joe, take me a little bit further. So your price of Cheerios has just gone up by 20%.
So the price of Cheerios has just gone up. So on our formula, we'll say price has gone up by 20%. And we'll see that. I've just put that in at the very bottom. Okay, but then as a result of the percentage price change in good B, which is our Cheerios, what's going to happen to the demand for cornflakes? Well, demand for cornflakes is going to go up by 10%. And what that's going to happen there, that's going to actually calculate as 0.5, and that's a positive figure. But this is the thing, I know the formula, I know the statistics and the figures regarding the changes in price and demand, but I don't actually know what this figure means. What does 0.5 signify?
Come here, mate. Give it here. Okay. Give it here. Let's have a little look. Well, first of all, you've got to put your plus in there to make it absolutely certain that it's a plus. If you get a plus coming out, that means you've got two substitutes. You can see the price of one product has gone up, and that has led to an increase in the demand for the other. Now, interestingly here, plus 0.5 are substitutes, but it's less than 1, so that would be classed as an inelastic relationship. Time for your breakfast, Joe, now?
Well, finally, please, just actually give me a chance to have my breakfast, okay? So, well, as it stands, I've still got my box of Cheerios, so I'm going to have a bowl of that. Obviously, I can't have cereal without a bit of milk.
Hi, Joe, I'm still here.
Oh my goodness, will you leave me alone? Can I not eat this in peace?
I've got to tell you one more thing. I've just got to tell you,
right,
Joe.
You've got 2 minutes maximum.
I've just been watching the news. Do you know what's happened to the price of milk?
What's happened?
It's gone up by 20%.
What, 20%?
Yeah. But why are you putting milk on there anyway?
You know as well as I do, Pete, that you can't actually have cereal without milk.
Why
they
not?
kind of go hand in hand, a bit like shoes and socks. A bit like, well, I suppose fish and chips, a bit like beans on toast. I could go on and on and on. But essentially, milk and cereal
Hey,
go
Joe,
hand in hand.
guess what? I know you're just having a quiet breakfast. I think there's a bit of economics in there.
No, not again.
Yeah, there is. There's a bit of cross-elasticity. Come on, get that formula back.
Well, I'll bring out my whiteboard that I had beside my bed last night. So, we're looking at the actual relationship between milk and cereal. Now, there's a name for that. Oh, what's it called again?
Why don't you try that complementary goods, Joe?
Complementary goods. Okay, so they're products that are in joint demand. So we'll actually see here that, let's work out this calculation again. So, just say, for example, that the, milk has actually gone up. But how much did it go up by in the news, Pete?
20%, Joe.
20%, wow. So we're going to put in plus 20% here. But how has that actually affected demand? Okay, so demand has actually gone down by 15%. So due to the 20% price rise in milk, there's been a reduction in demand for Cheerios by 15%. So let's work out this. It comes to minus 0.75. But I'm not great with interpreting numbers, and this is where you can come in and help me.
Give it here, fella, give it here. So we've got a minus So whenever you see a minus on a cross elasticity figure, that tells you it's a complementary good.
Okay.
Complementary good. The figure again is less than 1, so it's inelastic. There is a relationship. Some might argue and believe a figure might be stronger, but in this case, just taking it as minus 0.75, it's inelastic and it's a complementary good. How's that, Joe?
It's okay, but how reliable are these statistic figures about the actions that we make as consumers?
Joe, I thought you just wanted to have your breakfast.
Well, I did. I haven't even taken a mouthful yet.
Go on, take a mouthful, mate.
Okay.
Joe, use cross-elasticity demand, but remember, it's often based on historical data, it's an estimate, and there's always other factors that are going to affect the figure as well. So use it with caution, but you may be able to make some pricing decisions.
Well, Pete, you know what? You have been a bit of an annoyance this morning, but I have learned a bit of economics. So if you don't mind, I'm going to go and finish my bowl of cereal.
That's the end of the video. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks.